Want to make your house feel like a home? Do you love home design and decor but don't know where to start? I'm Kasie Savage and this is The Nest, your destination for all things home, decor, and lifestyle with a local twist. We've got your neighborhood experts that know how to keep it real, easy, affordable, current, and creative. So cozy up, grab a drink and get comfy because today we've got the experts, the pros, and all the tips, tricks, shopping picks, and advice you need to create your best nest. If your rooms are in need of a little bit of pizzazz and you feel like you have to go out all the time to a store to buy those accessories to give your home that little special something, that's not always the case. In fact, a little home staging trick that stagers always use is shopping what's already in the home. So we have professional home stager Elise Volpe with us to give us all the tips and tricks on shopping in your own home, which A, sounds like something will save you a ton of money, number one.
For sure.
But two, a great way to get organized at the same time.
Yes, definitely. A lot of times when people are staging their home, they're looking to move and they have to edit these things anyways. So I'll help them go through and pick things out that we can actually use as decoration around the house.
Yeah, so let's start. I know you've set up the coffee table with so many goodies. We've probably spent more time off camera talking about all the goodies than we'll have time on camera talking about them. But let's start with something like cookbooks. Most people, like myself, we have them stashed away until we're looking for a recipe. But you're saying, no, get them out.
Yeah, I think a lot of time is spent making these books beautiful and they're so colorful, so why not put them out on your countertop or even create a feature wall in the kitchen that can focus on the cookbooks, and then the added benefit is you would probably use them more often as well.
Yeah, you might actually open them up and make a home-cooked meal if they're right there and accessible. Okay, I have tons of my grandmother's old fine bone china, teacups, saucers, literally hidden away in a cupboard. So you're saying get them out and display them.
I think they're beautiful, and again, you would use them more often. Some people like to use them for dessert, not just for tea, but putting, mousse inside of them with fruit. You can also, again, place them on the wall. You'd have to be really creative and careful about the way you hang them, but they're beautiful pieces of art and they should be shown off.
To be displayed. So let's talk about, I've got 3 young kids. I've got 3 boys. You've got 2 boys.
Yep.
Art supplies, crayons, markers, I'm tripping over them all the time.
Yeah.
You're saying instead of stuffing them in a drawer, you can actually display them in an artful way that looks pretty and is functional.
Exactly, and the kids are probably more likely to color if everything's right out in front of them. So you can see here, we have the pencil, crayons, and markers, but you can make it as colorful as you want by continually adding more and more items. And it's just really pretty, and everyone has mason jars kicking around in their house.
Yeah,
so.
It's true. Once, pickling season is over, you're left with 24 empty jars. Okay, so you've had the luxury of traveling to different places around the world over the years. You're talking about your honeymoon in Cuba and France. So what do we have on this tray here, and why is it so important to use objects that you've collected on trips rather than just going out and buying some generic item and displaying it?
I think it's really important to have anything that you're using to decorate your home speak about yourself. And this is going to be a reflection of you, and it's a conversation piece for people when they come over. Oh, where's this from? And it's also a good memory for you, hopefully.
And what's the trick for displaying? I can see you've put it on a tray. Is a tray always the anchoring feature to any display?
It's an easy way, if you're unsure how to display it, to bring everything together.
Get a tray.
Yeah, get a tray.
Okay, let's talk about, I know tucked away at the back, we're going to get a shot for that, a shot of that for you. We've got what you would probably put in a bathroom to spiffy up and create a vignette in your bathroom, give it maybe more like a spa-like feel. But I was excited to hear that some of the vessels that you used over on that display are actually from the dollar store.
Yep, those vases that you can see there were from the dollar store, and I just placed cotton balls, cotton swabs, and little makeup pads in them. And it's just a nice way to display stuff that you're using every day. So you're getting beauty, but also function out of your decoration.
And it feels like a high-end hotel spa,
Yeah.
except that literally costs you $3 plus supplies.
Exactly, exactly.
And then what about the little more expensive, where did you get the more expensive kind of apothecary type of glass containers that we see there?
So those were just from HomeSense. So they were not that expensive. And if you have soaps kicking around that, you know, you've maybe
Pretty soaps.
grabbed from the hotels that you've been to, again, speaking to your travels.
You're allowed to take those, by the way.
Yeah,
They're in the
exactly.
hotel. And then what about these plates up here in the front, these chargers?
So these are just plates that I have kicking around in my house, and this could be a really beautiful art for your walls. So this can be, you know, you can place it in 3s or 5s. You can vary the pattern and the size of them just for a really kind of different way
To visual interest.
Yeah.
So 3s and 5s, is odd number the key when you're creating a display? Does
I
that
like to
rule
go that
always
way.
apply?
I think it doesn't always apply, but generally speaking, it's pleasing to the eye.
And then what about something like stacking up the cookbooks? I see you've put some, you know, on angles and off to the side. I feel like the type A in me is always like, line
Straighten
them
it
up.
up. And I think that's, again, speaking to what is your personal style. So if
I
you
don't want
need your
people to know I'm
cookbooks
like that.
straight, then straighten out your cookbooks.
Okay, so if
because-
you're ashamed of your, you know, super type A personality, even though it kills you, just go like that. Just
Exactly.
Give it a little twist when people come over.
Wow.
Hey, Elise, thank you so much. Great ideas as always. And stick around because we'll see you at the end of the show when it's Ask the Pro. Coming up after the break, we have David Butler, and he's talking about ways to freshen up the exterior of your home. Stay with us. So many of us, and maybe yourself included, have done a ton to update and renovate the inside of our homes, but we're kind of stuck with the outside looking the way it is. Or are we? We have with us from Alair Homes, David Butler, Alair Homes, Aurora, and Newmarket, here to talk about ways to update the exterior of your home. So you're telling me there's hope for the outside
Absolutely, Kasie.
of the home.
Yes.
Okay,
yes, there is.
how many different options truly do we have when it comes to the outside of our home in terms of exteriors?
Yeah, you could look at it a bunch of different ways. You could do very simply, just start with some exterior lighting, maybe a little bit of landscaping. You want to get a little deeper, then you could look at doors and windows, could change a lot. And then you're into changing the exterior materials, whether it's brick or siding is coming off, and then you're putting new materials on. It could be the same, just a different color or style, or you can change the materials as well. So taking brick off, putting stone on. And then the last final biggest option is then you're into some actual structural changes. Maybe you're adding a covered porch to the front of the house with a different roof line and maybe some dormers or changing a roof line, etc.
Okay, you're on the cutting edge of what's in style.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, because it's a huge investment, or at least maybe it's not, when you're changing the outside of your home. How do you know which finish to choose in terms of what's on trend, what's stylish? What are you doing now with custom homes?
Yeah, it depends on, you're seeing more modern type homes where they're using some fancy different types of synthetic products, whether it's a longboard product or architectural panels, etc. So you have that spectrum. The next spectrum is more traditional type stuff where you're going into your bricks, stone, stucco, and different types of siding, whether it's wood or a cement fiber type board.
So in other words, in terms of longevity, if we want to invest in something that will stand the test of somewhat time, because I guess everything eventually goes out of style, what would you recommend?
Well, stone and brick are your some of your best options, and buying good quality product. But never be afraid. I'm a big fan of wood siding on the exterior of the home. Don't be afraid to go that route. Some of the products that are coming out of the factory today, pre-finished, no problem to last 15 years or longer. before you're even needing to restain it or repaint it.
Okay, let's take a look. I know you always bring some fantastic pics, drool-worthy pics of
Yeah.
before and afters, and I know that you've supplied some today. So let's take a look. So this is a standard before. I mean, what was this house? 30 years old,
Yeah,
approximately?
it's probably your 25, 30-year-old type home, sure.
Okay, I can't wait to see the after because I have.
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me?
So
How is that? Are you kidding me? That is unbelievable. But you
Yeah.
had to have added on to get that three-dimensional.
Absolutely. This is a very large project, very exciting, looks terrific. But yeah, that's at the far end of the spectrum. There's significant changes to the building envelope, and yes, a big exterior upgrade.
Oh my gosh, this is inspiring. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see what else you've got because I did not see that coming. Okay, so this must be an old, it looks like an older kind of century home with an addition on the front.
Yeah, a sunroom
Okay,
addition.
and then let's see. Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so beautiful. So
Yeah.
really sky's the limit is kind of the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's governed only by imagination and budget.
Okay, and then I think you have another one. Okay, well,
Yeah.
you know what? I'd take that over what I've currently got, so I'm
Yeah.
surprised they wanted to change it up.
Yeah.
Let's see the after. Are you, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? That's not the same house, is it?
It is, yeah. And again, a massive change.
Oh my
But you can
gosh.
see the more of a Western
1,
type
2,
theme
3,
here
4,
with
5, 6, 7. The
Yeah,
producer's
7
just
car-
talking in my ear. 7 garage doors. Is there a
Yeah.
car behind each one?
There's a lot of material back there.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh. Okay, let's just go back to reality for a second here, David. Okay,
Sure,
let's just
okay.
take it down a notch. That was really exciting and aspirational.
Good.
But what kind of price points are we talking about for, you know, an average homeowner that's thinking of maybe refacing the front of their house from, let's just say, salmon-colored brick? I don't
Yeah.
know, to stone, for example. And let's say we're just doing a wrap. What kind of pricing would we be looking
You
at?
could be maybe in the $20,000 to $30,000 range, and that's going to include removing the old product, disposing of it. It gives you a good opportunity to look at the bones of the house behind, if you're making sure you've got the proper house wrap, seals around the windows, etc. And then you're putting the new product on. A nice stone's going to look terrific.
It looks like you have a brand new house. And I know this isn't something you typically deal with, but obviously one update leads to the next. Then you probably have to update your driveway as well.
Yeah, it can, and I think we were speaking earlier, the other issue when you do that is sometimes the windows, if they're a bit dated, you want to maybe address the windows at the same time, but then yes, then you've got this new home and maybe some dated landscaping, unfortunately, and then a patio down to the driveway, etc., or the garage door needs to be replaced as well. So plan accordingly.
Yeah, well, get the checkbook out and make sure it's pretty thick and you got a lot of checks in there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Stick around because we always love your expertise at the end of the show. Coming up, Jackie Kovacs, editor of York Life magazine, is here with some really gorgeous items with the Love It list. So stay tuned. Every week, Jackie Kovacs, editor of York Life magazine, scours the region in search of what's hot, what's new, what's happening, what's exciting. She curates a collection of items. She brings them to us so we don't even have to leave our homes in order to find out what's trending right now. And it's all about wood, and more wood.
Wouldn't you?
You know what? That's why she's the editor of York Life magazine. Okay, so I am seeing these everywhere and often imitated. I know that these are quite high end. You'll find some, you know, inexpensive reproductions of bowls that are made out of wood, cheap wood, not expensive wood. But these truly are handcrafted works of art that you can use as well,
Yeah,
that
and
you
they-
brought us today.
Yes, and they're handcrafted right here in York Region. This company is called A Cut Above.
Love
and
it.
They're part of the York Makers Association, yorkmakers.ca. You can find this work and all kinds of others. But
Yeah.
I love these because they're beautiful, but they're also useful.
They are useful and they are so beautiful as well. Now, I can't even begin to figure out the process of creating these bowls, but everywhere you look, whether it's the magazines, whether it's on TV, home decor programs, in store, in windows, it's all about bringing a touch of the outside inside without the critters, bugs, etc., danger of outdoors. So these bowls are so beautiful. What do you know about these bowls in terms of, you know, how they're made? They're just so beautiful.
Well, and these are all individual works of art, and this is his thing. He sculpts wood, and I just thought these live edge bowls were really different. I mean, you've seen bowls that are kind of shaped differently, and we've seen the platters with the live edge. But these, I mean, you would look at them, and the process is incredible. It would have to be the whole thing, and then he's carved it, and yet you can still see all the beautiful grain
and the rings. You can count, like, you know, I'm just looking here. This tree was about 30 years old. And I'm counting the rings on the tree.
George Jazar, who's the artist, has signed all of them, and they're labeled. So these are actual works of art that have a utilitarian use as well.
And he also, how cool is this? He also indicates the type of wood on the back so that when you have company over, you just sound so much more knowledgeable. It's like, what a gorgeous bowl. Oh, it's ash. You always wonder how everyone knows just by looking at the grain. I mean, you can tell pine, you can tell maple. So this one here is ash. This one is apricot. So how fun is that? They're numbered as well. So they truly are really artistic. $125 for this beautiful apricot bowl. I was saying this almost looks like, you know, a butterfly on the inside.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So think about what you would use these for, whether it's just sitting on your front hall entry table and you're tossing your keys into it, or you are filling it up with some pistachios or some nibblies, and maybe it's like a gourmet popcorn, you're having company over. They really are beautiful. In terms of maintenance, I wonder if there's anything that needs to be done to these bowls.
Well, I would suspect if you're using them for food purposes, you would want to have something dry like a nut in it. I don't think you would want any kind of like olive oil or anything that might stain it.
Now, I want to also just take a quick peek at this one before we say goodbye. This one is so uniquely carved. There are little votive candle holders
also
as well.
with all the bark. Whoops, I shouldn't have picked that up.
The wax and the bark.
Yes.
So beautiful. Remind everyone again, yorkmakers.ca.
Yes, yorkmakers.ca, and this is a cut above, and it definitely is that.
So pretty. Okay, we are going to be back. It's Ask a Pro, our final segment of the show, coming up right after this. Stay with us. This is always the most energetic segment of the entire show. It's called Ask a Pro, where we get your questions, and a lot of you put your picks and your questions on our Facebook page, The Nest with Kasie Savage. So don't forget to go there, and you can do this as well. And we take those questions and put them to the pros. So consider it free decor advice is actually what it is. So here on our panel today, professional home stager Elise Volpe. We have from Alair Homes, Aurora Newmarket, David Butler, and we also have the one and only Jackie Kovacs, editor of York Life magazine. And here's what we have as a question for today. We have Margaret from Aurora, who says she's been living with the same bedroom for 15 years now, and it's yawn. Right? So talk about a way for her to fall asleep. I think it looks pretty good. She thinks it needs some pizzazz, some color. She says the room is actually enormous beyond what we can see, but the closet space is really insufficient. In other words, sounds like my closet where her husband is relegated to, you know, 1/8 of the actual space in there. So let's put this question to the pros, find out what they would do, how they would update this room and improve it. Elise, let's start with you. You're looking at this room and you've got your home stager thinking cap on. What comes to mind?
So I would love to see a nice chair in front of the window. It looks like there's space for it there. It would be a really nice reading nook. So I'd love to see a chair with a nice bright pillow, and that's a good way to bring in some color, and an end table. I'd also probably change out the drapery, do something a little bit brighter.
Yeah.
I think that would really make a difference.
Like what, pattern, no pattern, stripes?
I would love to see a pattern. I love pattern drapery, maybe with a white background and then whatever color the client would
I know. I love that you always suggest that instead of saying, you know, it's 2017, we must have green, or 2018 is going to be all about fill in the blank.
Yeah.
So you really are a strong believer that you should decorate to your own personal taste, not
For
what
sure.
the magazines tell you to
Yeah,
do.
especially in the bedroom where, you know, you want to feel calm and it has to be a color that you love.
Yeah. Okay, David, what about you? What kind of tips and advice do you have?
Yeah, well, the thing I picked up on there, you talked about the walk-in closet or the lack of closet space. So creating a walk-in closet, especially if the bedroom is large size, and maybe you could encroach, bring some of the closet into the bedroom and build a nice walk-in closet with some built-in cabinetry in there and good lighting.
Now, you're always a lover of TVs.
Yeah.
What's the verdict? TV in the bedroom, yes or no?
No, I'd have to say no as much
Wow.
as, yeah.
Look at Jackie nodding suspiciously. Like, that's, you look shocked, Jackie, to hear that.
I think most men like a TV in the bedroom,
To fall asleep to.
presumably.
Yeah,
Who here has a TV in their bedroom?
We do not.
no,
No.
Wow. I do not either.
yeah.
In the control room, they do. They have TVs in there. They work
Yeah.
in the TV business. They like to have a TV everywhere, especially to watch The Nest. It makes sense. Okay, so Jackie, what about you? You see that bedroom, and what advice do you have?
Well, the first thing that I see is that four-poster bed. And
Yeah.
easy peasy fixed. Get yourself a bright new bed cover and pillow shams, and you can completely change the look. And then you can change that seasonally too. So you don't feel like you're married to that forever and ever. So you can keep up with trends. Very simple fix.
Yeah, and what about, you know, Elise, when it comes to beds, what's a classic style? I mean, people want to invest in furniture that's going to last and last and last. Are you a big believer that we should only invest in tried true classic pieces, or maybe into that kind of reclaimed wood look or that industrial feel? Should we bother going that route when we're updating a room furniture-wise?
I think, again, it depends on your personal style. That bed is a very traditional bed. So I think that could last through a long period of time, but you would run the risk of dating yourself, I think, if you went with an industrial style bed, because
Yeah.
that is a bit of a trend.
Yeah, and when we talk about, David, I like your idea of, I like how I was thinking blowing out walls. Your professional term is encroachment. So I guess I need to refine my language a bit. We're not blowing out any walls,
Yeah.
encroaching into the
Yeah.
bedroom a bit. So how hard or easy is that? I guess it depends on the floor plan.
Yeah, it depends on the floor plan, if they're load-bearing walls, et cetera. But you want to get a permit for any of that type of stuff and get some proper construction drawings done. And if there's an ensuite, it's an opportunity to also maybe make the ensuite bathroom a little bigger too, if that's tight for space. If what Margaret is saying, the bedroom is so large and there's so much extra space, it might be another opportunity for improvement.
And you know, in terms of lighting in the bedroom, it looks
Yeah.
like there's just literally, it looked like a little chandelier and 2 table lamps. What other kind of lighting, built-in lighting, would you be
Yeah,
able to do?
you could do a little bit of accent lighting in the ceiling with some pot lights on dimmers.
I like that you add the dimmer
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
That's so important. You go
yeah,
into
it
so
is.
many houses and it's like
It is.
2 modes, off, on,
Yeah,
nothing in between.
absolutely, yeah. And then I always like getting those table lamps off the tables. You could put some wall sconces that articulate and come out so you could still read at night, and allows you to put your books and whatnot, other things you need on top of those night tables.
And Jackie, I know you talked about the bedding. This is a contentious issue for married couples, pillow count. I feel as though the more the merrier. My husband's like, I have one, you have one. Why are there 25 on the bed? So
Yep.
what's your take?
Well, A, not surprised. B, I think there is a fine line with the decorative pillows because, you know, if they make you feel good and that this is your restful little haven, great. But at a certain point, it's a lot of taking off and putting back on for who's going to see it. So I think if you get a joy out of having some colorful pillows and they give you that pop of, oh, my room is my haven, great. But yeah, don't turn it into a labor of love every morning and every night.
David, I feel like you have a pretty strong opinion on the pillows. How many
Yeah,
is the right amount?
I gotta agree with your husband. 2 pillows is fine.
His, hers,
Yeah.
the end. Why do we need any more? Love that
Exact-
utilitarian outlook of yours. And Elise, what do you think? Pillows.
I love pillows, so
Uh-oh.
I'm going with the female stance on that one. But I also like having a place to put them when I'm putting them away. So
As
I have
opposed
a,
to just tossing them on the floor, and
floor,
tripping
yeah.
on them on your way to the washroom in the night.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Margaret, I hope that answers your questions and you feel invigorated and you can update that bedroom. Okay, I hope you learned something new today. Maybe you're going to visit yorkmakers.ca. Maybe you're thinking that it's time to rehab the outside exterior of your home and give it a brand new exterior finish. Or maybe you're looking around shopping your house. Elise Volpe had some great tips for you. But until next week, don't forget to visit our Facebook page, The Nest with Kasie Savage. Share your tips, share your pictures, share your opinions, lots of opinions on there. And until next time, happy nesting. We'll see you soon.